Today we're going to be talking about 3 things that should and 3 things that should not determine your prices as a photographer. I think that this is one of the trickiest areas of photography business. It's just something that can be really confusing to people, right? Like, you want to be able to make the maximum amount of profit possible. You don't want to burn out and overwork yourself, but at the same time, a lot of people are scared of scaring clients away based on their prices. So this is going to be giving you some direction and a starting point when it comes to pricing your photography. So first, let's get into how you should determine your prices as a photographer. So number 1 is how much money you want to make, right? Like, you have to determine your cost of living in here. So like, if you are a California photographer, it might cost you $200,000 a year just to live. Maybe you've got really high housing expenses and food expenses, and it's just, there's a higher cost of living where you are. And in order to be able to feed your family and put money on the table, you've got to make a higher income than, let's say, someone from a small town in the Midwest. Maybe their rent is a lot lower, or their mortgage is a lot lower, their grocery prices are lower. And so maybe they only need $75,000 to be able to live and feed their family and everything that they need to do. And so the amount of money that you personally need to make is obviously something that's really important for any career. You would never choose a career that didn't meet your basic salary requirements, right? And it's the same when you run your own business. You need to take into consideration your minimum salary requirements when you are pricing your services. Okay, number 2 is how many sessions you want to take on. So you don't want to overwork yourself and burn yourself out. I have seen too many photographers make this mistake. You really need to take into account, when it comes to work-life balance, I can only take on, let's say, 5 sessions per week. It's really going to depend on you, the season you're in life. When I was single and didn't have kids, I had a much higher capacity for taking on sessions than I do now, because now I require a better work-life balance. And so how many sessions you're willing to take on. And part of this too is, like, how long does it take you per client? Like, how much time do you spend per client, right? So some people do really heavy Photoshop work and they spend hours on every image. And so each client, it takes them a lot more hours than someone else who maybe uses AI to edit their images. And it's not just editing. It's like, for me personally, I automate at all of the front end stuff of my business. So like booking, client communication, all of that stuff is completely automated. So I just show up and shoot and edit. And so I spend a lot less time on each client than someone who has the person, inquire with them, and then they reply back to the person personally and send a contract and invoice. That's going to take a lot more time than how I do it, which is all automated. And so that person is probably going to have a lower capacity to take on sessions than I do, because they're spending more time on each client. So the number of clients that you personally feel like you can take on and have the capacity for is definitely something to factor into your pricing. And then number 3 is obviously your business expenses. I feel like way too many photographers get to the end of the year, they do their taxes, and they realize, wow, after expenses, I hardly made anything. And that is so sad, because they spent so many hours away from their family, away from their kids. Some people are burning themselves out, just like working crazy hours, only to realize I made hardly anything. And that is just such a sad position to be in. And I don't want to see anyone make that mistake. So you really need to factor in your business expenses and your cost of doing business when you are figuring out your prices. And you need to do that ahead of time. Like, don't wait until tax season and realize, like, wow, my costs are a lot higher than I thought they were, and I made hardly any money. Please don't do that to yourself. So factor in your business expenses when you're deciding on your prices. Now, 3 things that should not be factored into your prices as a photographer. Number 1 is how much other photographers around you are charging. That is honestly completely irrelevant. I am one of the highest priced photographers in my area. I charge $950 for a session, and I'm not in a very high cost of living area. Honestly, the average prices for photography around me are about $300 for a session, but it doesn't affect me. I don't take into account what they're charging when I'm coming up with my prices, and I am extremely profitable, and I have no idea what their business expenses are, and what their business is like. So I have no say in what they should be charging, but I hope that it is profitable for them. And then number 2 is how much you think clients are willing to pay. One mistake that I see people making a lot is basically assuming that their ideal client is exactly like them, and they assume that their clients are only willing to pay as much as they would be willing to pay. Me personally, I am not as wealthy as my clients are, and $950 for a session for me would be a lot of money. But for my clients, my ideal clients are very different than I am. They have a lot more money than I do, and they are 100% willing to pay $950 for a session. And so if I just assumed that people were only willing to spend as much as I'm willing to spend, then that would be a huge mistake, and I would be underpricing myself. Something to keep in mind is I know that we can kind of get stuck in our bubble of like everyone is similar to me, but no matter where you live, there's going to be really wealthy people, and there's going to be really people who are struggling financially. And so making sure that you are just aware that like if you raise your prices, there's going to be people who are willing to pay that is really important. And it's, yeah, just making sure like you don't get stuck into that rut of like, my ideal client's exactly like me. Like when you are figuring out your ideal client, just being willing to admit that like there's lots of people in my city, and like I may not be marketing to myself. And if you have never done your ideal client worksheet, I actually have a free guide for you down below where you can download it and fill it out and figure out who exactly your ideal client is. So I think that would be really helpful for you, especially if you struggle with just thinking people aren't willing to pay very much for photography. Okay, and then number 3 is how many years you have been in business. So just don't fall into the trap of thinking like, well, I have been in business a lot less time than this other person, and so I shouldn't be charging as much as them, because that is absolutely not true. Like I said, you need to be taking in your own expenses, your own amount of money that you need to live. Maybe that's different than theirs. Maybe you have a bigger family than them. Maybe you just have a higher standard of living that you would like than that person does. And so you really just, again, can't take into account like what other people are doing, and just need to focus on your own expenses, your own capacity, and your own amount of money that you want to make. So again, go ahead and download that free ideal client worksheet that I have for you down below. I think that will be really helpful for you when it comes to figuring out your pricing and marketing to your ideal client. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know if you have any questions or anything else that you want to see me make videos on down below, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.